So, some recent events in my life made me realize I probably should talk about this, even though I talk about it individually to people. Um, I spent 13 and a half years in prison, and I learned a lot of things. And actually, I became a deeper person. Okay. Like some people go there and they become a worse person, right? Emotionally and developmentally, and things like that, education wise. So, I'm going to walk you through my step by step kind of what happened in my journey, but also at the same time, it's going to be like a roundabout thing, right? So while waiting for trial, I was in jail for 2 years and maybe 3 months, like 850 days, something like that. And I was in the hole the entire time, well, except for 2 months. I had a rapist go after me in my fourth night in county jail, my cellie. I couldn't handle it psychologically at 22 years old, and they put me in the hole because I told my mom I wanted to escape, and then something happened, and then they're like, he's going to escape, and so let's put him in the hole for 2.5 years, or two and a quarter. So during that time in the hole, this is the hole in 2007. This is before everybody gets an iPad in their cell, even in the hole now. Back then, I didn't get to hear music for 2.25 years. Except what I would do is sometimes I would tell my mom, "Hey, mom, make sure you have a song ready for me." And one of the songs that's most memorable is Metallica, "Nothing Else Matters." Because honestly, I'm crying my eyes out because I literally think nothing else matters than me fighting my case or getting a deal or whatever. I was completely broken. Okay, the whole breaks you psychologically. You get to where you walk 5 steps, turn, walk 5 steps, turn. You get to where you're reading a book while walking, and you have to psych yourself up that this is your life temporarily. Um, when they took me downstairs after I took my plea agreement for 15 years, I got 10% off. So I did 13 and a half years on 15. Um, I was loaded in the bottom of the building, and when we got off that bus, the CO had to literally put his hand on my back and push me forward because I'm literally looking up at the sky, and I hadn't seen a blue sky in 2.25 years. Um, I cried, and I was also a statue. I was just staring at the sky because you think a child grows up with that. They don't understand it's something special. But when you have it taken from you and it's gone, it means the whole world to you, or at least some people. Um, Goes back to their EQ level, emotional quotient. Um, then the other thing that made me cry really deeply and hard was the first time I felt rain on my skin. The first time I literally had my toes, let's see, my toes in grass. Okay, I did not even expect that that would be an emotional feeling. Okay, until you have that taken from you and you're literally getting rained on and barefoot, and the COs are telling you put your socks and shoes back on, and you learn you have to, some prisons you can and can't do that, all this other stuff. Anyway, um, I became really actually deep and appreciative. Okay, then as time went on, let's say I talked to some guys that I want to say that they're on the lower level of dregs of trying to think the male version of skank, but basically that. So I'd ask guys like, hey, how long, when you gotta, because maybe they come back to jail two, three, four, five, 6 times for short sentences. And I'd ask them because they're talking shit about women or getting pussy. That's what they're like, oh, yeah, they're degrading women like that. Of course, some women like that anyway, but my point is that that's their mentality, okay? So I was like, hey, how long did the beer goggles last? How long is every woman a goddess to you? And most of them would say 3 to 6 months. Okay, 3 to 6 months that they're beautiful no matter what. Basically, they're saying they'll fuck anything. And then me, the way I still feel is that I don't ever want that feeling to leave me. That one, I'm happy women exist. And this is, I'm not anti-trans, but I'm like, I'm happy you have a natural vagina. I gained a deeper appreciation for women. One of my favorite songs from the Beatles is "I Just Want to Hold Your Hand." I know I'm using my hand a lot. I'm trying to figure out how to do this because I'm not. This is my first video doing this. But the Beatles, "I Just Want to Hold Your Hand." I'm that guy. I'm the guy that literally wants the romance. I want to go on adventures and go places and do things. And I actually want to learn about you and be a true soulmate. I wouldn't be crazy. And you know what? I do have a passport. I just have to have a visa for nice countries. I can go to Mexico, no problem. Okay. I'll go to Canada, England, Germany. I need a visa and apply for it in advance and get approval and all this other stuff. Okay. But regardless, I can travel the world. But I want to do something crazy. Like, let's get married in 195 countries. Actually, 194 because we're not going to North Korea. Okay. Definitely not going there unless things change a lot. So, like, hey, let's get married in 194 countries. The divorce would be crazy, right? That's a joke. My point is this. I want someone that could love me, right? And that I love them, and it's actually real love, and we're not sitting here getting paranoid and hurt and letting our feelings from past relationships fuck things up. And then I have to deal with, well, we have to deal with each other's hang-ups. Whatever that might be, people cheating on each other, jealousy, or as I said to one girl I dated, so she thought because I'm white and I'm tall and skinny, I spent fucking 4% of Washington State is black or something like that, like something like 4 or 6%, but 40% of the prison system is. So I had a lot of guys telling me, man, John, what you need is a fat bitch, right? And so I'm gonna listen to a lot of hip hop music, and I had a lot of black cellies, and I'm like, you know what? I told my girlfriend, she said, what if you leave me for a girl with a smaller butt? And I was like, what if I leave you with a girl with a bigger one? Now, I said that to be sarcastic and funny because I was trying to get rid of her complex. And the joke is now that I wasn't allowed to talk to women with any ass. Or they could only be her friends because she knew her friends would tell on her. But I'm not going to cheat on her anyway. My thing is she's self-conscious about her butt, and she's like 5'8" and like 205 pounds and almost all ass. And I loved her, but she's self-conscious. Okay, I have to deal with it. I don't know what man ever said that she had a fucking huge ass and it was too big. But regardless, I mean, like just Shaft, okay? Samuel L. Jackson, it's my duty to please that booty, right? And I sound nerdy as fuck. Like, you wouldn't think that I did 13 and a half years, right? My comedy is insane when I do comedy, but right now I'm trying to mostly talk about emotional stuff. So, my biggest fear, besides a cage, water and heights, which I'm getting over, is, let's say I join a Facebook group, whatever that Facebook group is. It could be making friends, or I join any number of things, right? And making friends. I like to go to wine cheese cracker parties. I like to go to nice things. I'm really well educated. I like being around. I like to find a woman that has a master's degree or a bachelor's, or and she wants to travel, and she's well-rounded and can talk about anything, right? Because I don't like one-dimensional people. So let's say I find a woman and friends that I click with, right? I'm clicking with these people, and we've been friends for months or years, and then they find out about me, and then everyone abandons me. So my biggest fears is the fear of abandonment, but also the fear of being forgotten, and also betrayed. So abandonment, betrayal, and being forgotten. Because even when Mexican culture, right, they have the Day of the Dead, and you have the Land of Remembered and the Land of Forgotten, or whatever it was called. But basically, once no longer anyone remembers you, you're gone to the next place. You're in the worst place, or the next bad place. Everyone parties in the other one where everybody remembers you, right? So feeling forgotten, like you have no one that cares about you. That's like a Dementor from Harry Potter, right? And what I want is a woman to care about me like I care about them, but not to have that fear. So the other thing is, I question this. So 4 different things right here, but it's one question. Let's say I meet a woman. Do I tell her about my past? That I'm not on DOC. I can travel. But let's say, does she want to know that I have a past before we meet? After we meet, a few months down the road, or I never tell her? Because every woman's going to want something different. Everyone's going to give a different answer, okay? There might be like percentages, and one certain answers get a higher answer than others and all that other shit. But in general, that's my 4 choices. But I don't know. I can't read her mind. I don't know when she inside would want to know these things, right? When the fuck do I tell her, uh, something, anything. I did not lock the car. I'm making a video. Um, I don't know. So, um, so when do I tell somebody? Do I ever tell them, right? So recently, I told some people. I learned how to bead in prison. I beaded for 8.5 years. Yeah, I'll walk over here and show you. So I make this beadwork right here, right? These are some necklaces right there, and then these are like some of the big medallions down there. A lot of Seahawks and Huskies, and then like this one's like a big BB-8 piece. It's like the size of my chest. I mean, you can see my hand right here. So it's like half the size of my chest. And some of my work takes like 60 hours of sewing beads onto leather. So I lied to myself I'd be able to sell this stuff on Etsy for a good price. That I'd be able to have that as my restarting my life money. I couldn't sell this stuff for shit. I'm competing with China and Bali and all those other low prices. So now I give it away as gifts and I teach people how to bead. It's my talent that I learned in there besides learning stuff in general and reading a lot of books. So I let people know, and pretty quickly, I don't really think about it anymore, that I learned from Native Americans and, oddly enough, skinheads in prison how to bead. That's who taught me how to do. Oh yeah, so even got a this guy got a hummingbird that I used larger beads for, so it's more like a, I don't know, whatever you call that, larger bird with a. I don't think there might be hummingbirds that big. So I can make 3D animals. Okay. But I want to teach people. I want to show them, hey, I have no tattoos on me anywhere. That I didn't join a gang. That I don't hurt people. I'll never call a woman a bitch or a cunt. I want to treat you literally like a queen, like a goddess, and never have my beer goggles gone where I don't understand and appreciate you as a woman. Okay. And a lot of women say they want those things, right? But then, because of all our hangups in our own lives and past experiences, and also because of societal pressures and way we perceive things on TV, makes it look like anyone that's has a felony at all is a horrible person. Really, 1 in 13 people have a felony, and also like 1 in 6 people have a misdemeanor on their record. So let's say there's a dating group, right? Are they going to vet every single person? That's a lot of background checks. That'd be a lot of people not dating. So basically, what those ex-cons have to go to write a prisoner again, or they have to go to like date a guy with tattoo. Well, actually, I don't have tattoos, but you know what I mean. Like everyone thinks people have been in prison, they have tattoos, right? So but they have to be out like a dating website. It's like just for ex-cons only. What do they do? What do those 1 in 13 people do? And then what if the 1 in 12 want to date one of those 1 in 13? Then they have to make a site that accepts people that, you know what I mean? Like, where do we stop? Where do we start? So I'm part of a group, and I've been in it for 5 years. No one knew anything about me until days ago, and only one person knew about me about a month ago or two. And I've never had an incident. I don't hurt people. So I made a mistake when I was 22. I had an excessive force case, excessive force self-defense case. There's more to it than that, but I'm just going to explain that the long and short of it right there. But when it wasn't a woman, it was a guy. So I don't hit women. And I get it. If you're in a hiking group, an outdoors group, you're in a paddleboarding group. Let's say you're even in a city group where we go restaurant to restaurant to restaurant and go to bar hopping or whatever. A pub crawl for Santas. At the same time, all those Santas look the same. So yeah. But how do you tell who's who? Do you actually judge a person's character? Do you judge this right here? Do you get to know the person's personality? Or do you literally judge them on that one thing, and that you don't know what they did those 13.5 years? Or that when they experienced loss, that I cried when I walked on grass. I say that now, and you know what? I still have that feeling. I don't cry when I walk on grass now, but obviously, but I still have that cherishment. That grass between your toes is a feeling, and it hit me. I mean, like literally, it grass, like really grass between your toes, rain on your skin, um, the sun. Oh yeah, the other thing was ice cubes. I didn't have ice in the hole for 2.5 years, and so I had an ice machine. I was like, wow, ice cubes. But um, so my real question is to everybody that's watching this, preferably people that have no criminal record, and also I guess people that let's say you have a family member that has a criminal record, you could be feeling positive one way or negative another way. Like literally, what do you do? How do you find a woman of the class or a partner of the class that you want, um, the scale that you want? It's not just about beauty, right? But I believe in the bell curve. Most people are fives. An equal number of people are fours and sixes. An equal number of people are sevens and threes. It's shaped like a bell. It's not like, oh yeah, man, she's a 10, she's a 7, she's an 8. That's hair and makeup. Most people are fives, as how I look at the bell curve. But my question is to everybody about every deep thing I just said. How do you gauge a person? But at the same time, where do those people date? And do they just live in fear that they'll never find somebody that will actually accept them? Um, I have had a few people ghost me after I told them, and I don't try to push the contact. I'm not going to like make another profile and contact them. Um, use another phone number to call them. I literally walk away, and honestly, I cry later, and it hurts. I admit I cry. Um, so I just don't know what to say or do beyond everything I just said. Is please think about it. That there are people. I know I call them one percenters. A lot of people do, because honestly, sometimes I feel like 99% of people in prison are actually pieces of shit, but there's more than that. It's like actually more like 3 to 5, but 3 to 5% of people I've met in there are amazing people. They became better people. They spent years in the hole, read books, became college educated, and then finally calmed the fuck down. Whatever chemical problem was going on in their young body, they calmed down and they became better people. And it's sad that had to happen. But for those people that do become better people, what do you tell them? Because honestly, so this is a hard part to say. I've struggled with suicide. Um, I had people abandon me, and after that, I'm just like, because you're alone, abandoned and forgotten, and so you're just wondering, what am I living for? And the truth is this. It's also sad. Say one woman could actually be smart and conniving, see me that I want to be loved so bad that I could literally easily be taken advantage of. Honestly, sad, I know it's crazy to say this. I'm actually considered a vulnerable adult because of that, of all things. I'm emotionally, I'm technically considered easy to manipulate in that way. But but how do I find out if that's a real woman that really cares about me too? But at the same time, the people that do care. So that's my question. The people that do care, the people that have become better people, what do they do?